Not every person could become a police officer. It takes a unique type of person to fulfill that role, especially considering all the demands and various situations that this kind of service requires. Thankfully, those who are up to the task are generally aware of these challenges and they're ready to accept them head on. After all, part of the role of being a police officer is to willingly put themselves in dangerous situations. That's basically in the job description. Nevertheless, there are instances when even the most prepared officers are caught off guard. One day, officers in Chicago were on a routine patrol when they heard pained cries ringing out from a nearby abandoned house. Realizing that they had to be cautious, they approached the house, not knowing what they'd find inside. Inside, they spotted two dogs huddled together, nothing more than skin and bones, crying in pain. The animals were malnourished beyond belief, and they clearly needed to get help as soon as possible. Desperate to find them the help they so badly needed, the officers immediately rushed the pups to Trio Animal Foundation. There, they hoped the dogs would stand a fighting chance of recovering. The staff members at the rescue center did everything they could to hydrate and stabilize the poor dogs, who were barely able to move because of their weakened states. It was evidence from their protruding ribs and hips that these dogs could have been starving in that home for weeks, and something needed to be done fast. The two pups were named Emmy and Oscar. Emmy weighed only 20 pounds, and Oscar was so underfed that rescuers worried he wouldn't make it. But they had a strong will to live, and 3 months later, they were completely different dogs. They couldn't stay at the animal shelter forever, of course, so the hunt for a permanent solution began. Luckily, Emmy was adopted by a loving family who already had a dog friend for her to play with at home. Oscar lucked out too, and he was taken in by an adoring family where he would receive all the love and care he needed for the rest of his days. It's so great that everything worked out so well for them. And of course, none of this would have been possible if it wasn't for these police officers who took notice of those dogs in need in the first place. Both the dogs and their new families must be grateful. Thank goodness those officers went out of their way to help Emmy and Oscar, because the dogs were found just in time. They got to enjoy another shot at life, and that's not something that happens every day.